we will begin streaming soon. I can't read. My brain is soft today.
Oh, good.
All right, everybody's so happy.
Perfect
So I
timing.
can get this map centered.
Do you keep moving it? Because I keep readjusting my character to be in a square, and then when I look again, he's not, and I'm wondering if he's got a mind of his own and is doing things.
I did adjust everybody to be in center of the square because I'm weirdly OCD about nothing else in my life am I OCD about at all, except for people being in the center of their square of their grid map, either a real map or digital map. I don't care. Just get where you're supposed to be. Playing chess, I'm that guy that's like adjust. Like I've got to have it.
If you're holding a conversation in a tiled room,
your feet
Scoot
must be
to the
evenly
left,
placed.
sir.
just reach over and just kind of E.
Excellent. That's an excellent point, sir, but you're in the wrong position, so your point is invalid.
Yeah. Technicality.
Excellent.
So previously, last two recordings, last two episodes, sessions, what are we going to call this? Last two times,
Episodes.
pretty much got the characters together. You know, got Farazan down from his mountain up to another mountain. Tarathiel started out in the town of Cauldron looking for something. And Khaldun crawled out of a hole, jumped on a wagon, and came up to Khaldun. I mean, that's
the
short
where's
of
the
it.
line?
The short of it.
Pretty accurate.
And then as you guys got yourself acclimated to to Cauldron, everybody kind of went to the same place, which was
Convenient.
suggested to you by everyone because it's where all the adventurers go. The professional adventurers go to this place because they've got the notice board, and that's where fellow like adventuring types can get together and meet. And you've been here for a couple of days. You've gotten to know Nalini, the waitress, and the bartender, and the drunken Morkoth. And one evening, one dark and stormy night, the three of you hear a weak yell for help outside. Help! Help me! And the two of you actually get up and bolt out like heroes. And the third casually looks around and follows. You come outside, go around the block, into one block, take a left to the other block, and Farazan, being the first one to bolt out, comes to a scene seeing two members of the Last Laugh with the harlequinized half-black, half-white face paint kicking the crap out of what is obviously a priest or a cleric of some kind who's down on the ground just looking up at them, defending himself weakly in the mud and the rain, as the other two are just laughing and kicking him. Roll initiative.
Roll, Rick, roll.
Oh, hey. I do that all the time. I can't help myself from doing it. Roll, Rick, roll. All right. Anybody got above a 20?
No.
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 Anybody got 15 to 20?
Yes.
What you got?
17.
All right. 10 to 15?
10.
10, Khaldun. And what you got? Tarathiel. Tarathiel with a gentlemanly 5. All right. Farazan.
Same order as we came out the door.
Amazing.
Ish.
Farazan, 17. You have initiative. Any questions about the scene?
Yes. How do diagonals work?
5 feet.
D&D 5
There is
edition?
not. This is D&D 5e version of squares. Every square is 5 feet, no matter if it's straight or diagonal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It works out in the wash. It comes out in the wash.
Yeah. And it's a lot less of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of non-pain in the asses.
Yes. Circles or squares?
Circles or squares?
Circles or
Okay.
squares?
You said one of them is kicking him and the other one is pointing and laughing?
Yeah, so on the map you can see I've got Rogue 2, Cleric, and Rogue 1. They're both attacking this Cleric. It's just like Rogue 1 just did a walk-by kick to the face, and he's kind of walking around laughing. So they are both attacking this guy. It's just that's where he is when you come around the corner. It looks like he's going back in for another strike.
Okay.
Just so you're aware, we don't see names. So
What's that?
if you refer to things by name, we don't see the label.
You do
Yeah.
not see the labels.
You
Nope.
do not. Correct.
All right.
So
So
we got red shirt and green shirt.
okay. So Rogue, there's a Rogue 1, which is the one that's off by 5 feet. The cleric's in the center with the red cape, and then Rogue 2 is the one that's immediately to his left. And I'll
Okay.
figure out that about labels for next time.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Farazan,
All right.
what would you like to do?
Farazan will find the Alt key on his keyboard and step forward to the corner of the building, and he will call out to the two that are kicking the man while he is down, and he will say, "If you want a fair fight, come over here."
And both
That's
of
the
them,
wrong voice, by the way.
both of them stop and look over at you, kind of shocked surprise, a little bit of apprehension, and granted, we're going by round in combat, it's not their turn, but they kind of stop attacking the cleric as they look
Okay.
at you. Let's see if I can center this map just a sweet bit. There we go. All right. Anything that's free action.
Okay. Looking on the Twitch stream, I do see the labels. Excellent.
Ah, good.
So, okay. So, if they are they planning? Can I tell if they're planning to stop, or if they're still mid-swing? sort of
You
thing?
kind of caught them in the mid. So the one on the right, Rogue One, is moving back around. The one on the left just finished a punch as he was down, and it would look like he had his arm cocked back for another punch when he sees you. So you've got them to pause for a second. They have stopped immediate action.
Okay. So I will continue my movement to Hyun. And as he steps forward, he will pull a very long staff off of his back. Essentially, mechanically, it is a.
Oh,
What did I say? What did I say it was? It's a two-handed reach weapon, but I broke the head off of it. So
like a halberd without the howl.
that's it. Yeah,
It's a bird.
it's a bird.
Yeah.
It's a bird.
Tweet.
Yeah.
So is
two-handed-
that it's a reach weapon? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Two-handed reach weapon, bludgeoning damage is the only real difference there. Is it went from slashing to bludgeoning. So he will ready, I guess.
Okay. So you're going to use your action to ready and action to do what?
If Rogue One is a success, which it should be, it's a great name. If he continues attacking the cleric, Farazan's going to knock his block off.
Okay. So you're fairly new to 5e, is that right, Jamie? I mean, ish.
Yes, my only 5e games are play-by-posts, so they're a little,
Little rules light. So when you just to let you know for future reference, you're doing everything fine. Your action that you're doing to prepare an action, if you use it, will take your only reaction off your turn.
Okay.
Like your attack of opportunity uses a reaction. So just FYI, even when you prepare an attack, it does use up your reaction.
Okay.
Okay. Just want to let you know. Anything else Farazan?
I believe that is it. He will stare angrily.
Khaldun. You hear that booming voice scream. The other two, you heard the kerfluffle and the fighting in the mud. There's a quick break. There's a break in the action right now. There's obviously a giant building in the way. You can't really see what's going on, but you do hear what's going on.
Okay. I am going to go around the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There.
All right.
And I'm checking my line of sight to see. Do I have line of sight to the square that is between the priest and Rogue One, that empty square?
No. You could barely make out Rogue 2. I'd give him a light cover if you were attacking. Everything else is out of line of sight. Rogue 2 is the one on the left.
Okay.
I would point out that what I'm seeing on the Twitch screen and what I'm seeing on my Roll20 are slightly off.
It's a bit of a delay.
Well, the positioning of the tokens is a bit off. Like they're shifted a little bit.
Is it?
Just a little bit. Like on my screen, Farazan is centered on his tile, and on the stream, he's a little to the right.
Yeah, from my point of view, he's a little to the right. Now he's centered.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'm not quite that anal, but thank you.
Well,
no,
I think it's
you're
off
right.
by it's 2.3 pixels.
Yes, yes.
I think.
Anything less than 5 pixels, I'm okay
You're
with.
okay?
I will allow
Okay.
that without
Okay.
giving you disadvantage for the rest of the session. So, Khaldun, did you move full 30 feet?
That's 30 feet.
Okay.
And
So line of sight right now is basically just Rogue 2.
okay, so I can't see enough, so I'm going to take the rest of my move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
You're dashing?
6. I am dashing.
Okay. You're
1,
quite
2,
dashing.
3, 4, 5, 6.
It's that nose.
It is. To there. And I will observe.
Now
And I'm finished.
I'm going to stop you real quick. So as you move forward, you get closer into the shadows, and your just naturally perceptiveness didn't quite see it because of the distance, but as you got closer, you lost disadvantage, and you notice a third last laugh rogue kind of hiding in this corner up here, and it looks like they were just the lookout. That
Okay.
good angle on the entire alleyway. But now
Can
that you've
I
moved
ca-
closer,
Can I
you're
call
past.
out and say, hey, I see another in the corner there?
Absolutely, free action.
Okay. So I do that so that I'm letting the big guy know, hey, there's another one here waiting in the wings.
All right. If Khaldun, anything else?
I am done.
All right. The 3 rogues take their action, and they all 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't hit Alt. My own stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They move down the alleyway
What?
and away from Gigantor, and it looks like they've got so they're backing up, swords at the ready, like hand out, kind of in a defensive posture. Obviously they're a prepared action, but they're moving away
Okay.
from you, and they're running down the alleyway. That was in reaction to not a reaction. This is their turn, but that was their reaction to Khaldun and both Farazan coming around and making themselves known. Tarathiel, it's your turn.
Right. So Tarathiel, seeing that Khaldun has gone the other way, thinks that that's probably a good idea. He's going to awkwardly draw a short sword with his four-fingered hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 will get me to, and I forgot the alt, will get me to there. And then I'll have to take a dash action to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to kind of end up in the shadows next to this building.
All right. And we are all level 1, so you don't have your level 2 rogue bonus stuff.
I do not. But Tarathiel is very frustrated and angry to be seeing people with these masks. And is very
This
keen
is
to start
paint.
murdering
This is
things.
face paint. I may have said
Face paint,
mask,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it was my mistake if I did.
So he's preparing to cast Earthquake.
Meteor swarm.
Yes.
All right, top of round 2, Farazan, it's your turn.
If they are retreating, then he will step forward here, holding Alt. Nope, that's the wrong.
The other alt.
The other Alt. He will step forward here and assume a defensive position.
Okay, kind of protecting the cleric.
Yes. Is the cleric breathing?
He's conscious.
Okay.
Yes.
And then he will extend his hand to help him stand up.
He looks up at you kind of warily, a little hesitant at first, but takes it. Thank you so much. And he lifts. You pick him up. He's standing now beside you.
Okay.
Can we tell, based on his condition, whether they were shaking him down or trying to kill him?
So, until you guys showed up, none of them had brandished a weapon. They were kicking and punching. When you guys showed up, they all drew their daggers and short swords and started moving on down the alleyway.
Okay.
Farazan will look at, will kind of look over his shoulder at the gentleman as he's kind of facing the rogues, and
Bless you.
get rid of that. And
Just sneeze in the guy's face.
Yes, sneeze in the guy's face. Sorry, I wasn't wearing a mask.
ATM.
He'll ask him. He's like, "What is going on here?"
I missed it. Who'd you say you're asking?
The cleric.
I don't know. I was just on my way home after getting dinner tonight, and these two. Well, I didn't see the third one, but these two just started beating me up, and we're gonna have to do that for your turn because we're in combat.
Can he do a? It's not a sense motive. Insight.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's one of these bad boys. I'm just going to roll this and add my 3, so it's a 6 total. I believe you.
Yes, you do believe him.
Okay. All right. He resumes his his scowl at the rogues and turns his back completely on the cleric.
All right.
Lifting up his shirt a little to expose kidneys.
Shows him the tattoo that says "Strike here for maximum effectiveness."
I've got a bad nerve. If you strike here, I die instantly. Bullseye. Little X below.
Kill switch.
Kill switch. So yeah, that's Good
That's
job,
it.
Farazan.
All right. Khaldun, it's your turn.
Calvin cast sleep.
All right. Talk to me about sleep.
So it's a 20-foot cube. I can get all 3 of them. It's 5d8 hit points worth of sleep damage.
Okay.
Starting with the creature with the least number of hit points. And, if it does enough sleep damage to knock them out, they fall asleep.
Is there a saving throw?
No save.
No save. All right.
23 hit points worth of sleep.
20. What? How does that happen? Hang on just a second. Let me roll a. I'm going to cast detect bullshit.
For 5D.
All right. So,
Everyone in a 3-block radius falls asleep.
23. Yes, they are out. I mean, just immediately. Not even. They're moving away, and like in mid-step, they just like rag dolls falling, having their lines clipped.
Okay.
Excellent.
That should give us an opportunity to tie them up and ask some questions.
Yeah, how long does it last? What's the sleep duration?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. Yeah, so we are effectively out of combat now. However, when that happens and all 3 of them fall, the 3 of you did not notice, but up on the rooftop, you see a 4th shadowy figure. And as soon as you cast the spell and those 3 guys are out, the person that was hiding, sitting still, gets up and takes off running to the other side of this building to the north. So they were standing right here, and they go over the edge to the other side, out of sight.
I didn't see where here was.
I did not ping it. It was.
Okay.
They were. That's why I just shook my mouse a little bit, indicating I don't know what. But yeah, so it's almost like a reaction. Like this person was waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
When you did that, and these 3 became incapacitated, they bolted.
All right. He's a lookout.
I'm just curious.
Yes.
Curious.
Yep.
Can you show me? Can you ping on the map where he was located?
Where was it? Well, they're 30 feet up.
Okay, all right.
They're
It
on
wouldn't
the
have been
rooftop.
within range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Outside the cube.
All
I
right.
thought I did take that into account, but they're way out of range, I think.
Okay. Yes, they are.
And so we would have seen. Do we see that guy dashing off?
Yeah, and it's not like that's some shadowy figure. It is a cloaked figure. When they stood up, it was obviously another member of the Last Laugh. They had the face paint half and half, but this person, it was obvious they were watching, taking the scene in, and as soon as things went poorly, gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, that drops us out of combat.
Okay.
Excellent.
Then I will proceed to go over and start tying them up.
All right. So now we've got these 3 unconscious sleeping rogues. You got about a minute of activity. They're all 3 asleep in the mud. It's still raining. The cleric is standing beside Farazan, and the other 2, it looks like Tarathiel and Khaldun, are moving to tie up Yed said bad guys. Is that pretty accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So you tie them
Yeah,
up.
you'll just-
No big deal. Does somebody have rope?
Yes.
All right.
I do.
All right.
Yes,
Good
I do.
enough. That's fine. You get them tied up enough to where, if they struggle, they could probably get out, but you would
We just
see
tie
it'd be
them.
very, very obvious.
We just tie them front to front. So there.
You never know which way to go, right? Docking or spooning.
Yeah. Just so it's super awkward when they wake up.
Yes.
This mouth to mouth, like a quarter inch away from each other.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh man.
Ada wakes up. I'll tell you anything.
Just untie me.
Just untie me.
So that will probably take a full minute at least to get all 3 of those guys tied up.
Well,
Fair's on.
I can talk and tie at the
Absolutely,
same time
yes. What you wanna do?
while we're tying them up, and look over at the priest and say, "What do you want us to do with these guys? I mean, do we take them to the guard? I mean,
We can certainly take him to the watch captain.
I've half a mind to just jump him in the cauldron.
Down in the lake.
Yeah.
So those 2 are during the minute. Yeah, you guys can converse all you want. Farazan, is there anything you're doing while they're tying them up?
Just checking to see if the cleric is okay. I mean, he's probably. You said they were kicking him and punching him, so he's bruised, but he's not cut open or anything like that.
No, he's bloodied as far as like he has taken some serious damage. But he's not unconscious. He's worse for wear. I mean, he will definitely need some healing eventually. But he can move.
Okay.
He's up on his feet.
Okay. Okay. So Farazan will turn back to the other 2 that he hasn't really spoken to yet, and looking at. Whoop.
As you're talking, go ahead. He's getting up and moving over to look at the rogues as well.
Okay. Okay. So he'll say to Khaldun. He'll ask Khaldun. He's like, "Do you have this in hand?"
I think I do. You gonna get the guard?
Yes.
Sounds like a good idea.
So yeah, Farazan will, with the limited knowledge of the city, go to some place where he might expect a guard to be. At the
They
very
were
least, he will go to a main
pretty
intersection.
visible, I think,
Yes,
weren't they?
you're right. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were a very visible presence night and day doing patrols throughout. Very pleasant. I mean, they literally just walking around, helping little old ladies cross the street and saying hello to everybody. But they're well armed, spears and shields and chainmail. Like they're full on guard. They're not just some local militia.
Okay.
And Farazan, you take off during that minute. I'm gonna say during the minute of you running around, you find a patrol and are able to bring them back kind of around here by the time these 3 start to wake up with the other 2 tying them up. And the cleric is just kind of keeping an eye on things.
Okay. And you gestured with your mouse again, right? No pinging?
I did it. Why do I do that? Ping. So you pretty much, I'm going to set you over here just for now, just
Okay.
kind of give you an idea of the scene. And
Okay.
it's a full set of guard. It is 3 guardsmen. They come around and you beckon to them, and they did. They came running, and as soon as they see the scene, they all draw swords and move over towards the group. One of them looks over and looks at the cleric, kind of surprised. Rufus, you all right? Yeah. These rogues came out of nowhere and just started beating me up, but these gentlemen, they saved me. And the guardsman kind of nods and points at the other 2, waves them over to get to go over to the 3 rogues. And one of the guardsmen that goes over there, he's helping these 3 guys stand up, and the guardsman looks at one of the rogues and just kind of starts wiping the makeup off. Neelis? And he goes to the other one, wipes all the makeup off. Hylam? Carolyn? Why are you... These are guardsmen. What are you doing?
Oh, this is
dang.
good. There was a 4th. He was on the roof and he escaped.
This was no simple shakedown. They had a spotter.
It was
I want to
organized.
check some of your guards for paint later on tonight.
The guardsmen, we're going to take them in. You 3 are under arrest. We'll take you to the front of the magistrate in the morning. Believe me, you will no longer work in this city. Gentlemen, we appreciate you stepping up when we had a citizen in need. We will get to the bottom of this.
Farazan steps forward a few steps and asks, do we need to testify?
If you'd like, let's go before. This is pretty cut and dry. We do take the word of Rufus. We've known him for a while. And now that things have calmed down, the adrenaline's stopped, everything's slowing down. Rufus is standing there, and he's just in robes, but he has a holy symbol of St. Cuthbert hung around his neck. So he is a priest of St. Cuthbert.
Have been laying foot to ass.
Yeah, well, he's only level 1.
And it was 3 in this one.
Yes. Yeah, so the 3 guardsmen go in. They all take the rogue guardsmen don't even put up a fight now. Now that they've been discovered. One of them just Nihilus, the one that the guard first saw him wiping off the makeup. He said they hired us to just rough up Rufus. They told us they didn't want him dead. They just wanted us
That makes it all better.
Well, they wanted us to get across that he needs to quit going, and that damn priestess, can't think of her name. The priestess of St. Cuthbert needs to mind her own business.
He speaks Swahili?
And leave the orphanage alone. And Rufus, the cleric, just kind of looks baffled. I was there this afternoon. I left there, got some dinner, and I was heading back to the church. Is that? And he just wipes the blood off his face. And the guards, Neelis, the rogue guardsman, looks at the guard and said, they paid us handsomely. We split 50 gold between the 3 of us to rough him up and to threaten him. That's all I'm saying.
And Farazan steps a little closer again.
Well, I may say more.
Oh, sorry.
No. As he sees you walking up, he goes, well, I may say more.
I'd recommend it. He looks like he could rip your head off.
Okay.
I take note of the names of these 3 guys. You said Nihilus?
The 3 rogue
Hylam
guardsmen?
and Carolyn.
Rogues.
Yes, Nihilus, Hylam, and Carolyn. Carolyn is the one that was hiding in the shadows when you saw him keeping an eye out.
Okay.
And
who was your 4th friend that ran away?
That was Jill. She's the one that hired us. She is part of the Last Laugh. So that wasn't a guardsman. Okay, and now I've said too much.
So Farazan kind of forgets what he was going to say. Dang it.
Happens to me all the time.
Take your vitamins.
What's that?
So take your vitamins.
Take your vitamins. It's a lot of vitamins. He's very tall.
So the three guardsmen are rounding up the three rogues. They have them shackled up, and they start to walk them to the north, which you know is where the guardhouse is, where they have the prison and things like that. They're going to take them to the jail. And
I am going to escort them
okay.
to the jail because I don't trust these guys. Like, none of them now.
Okay. As you start to follow the guardsman, Rufus looks at Farazan. Would it be too much trouble for you to escort me back to the church?
No trouble at all.
I would greatly appreciate it. And the guardsmen, as they're walking off, they see you following along, Khaldun. They just nod, and they mention as they're leaving, be sure to come by in the next couple of days. You will be paid handsomely for capturing these three thugs.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I'm just here just in case they do something, or they have backup, or someone else hiding in the shadows.
Something nefarious.
Yes.
So Farazan says to Khaldun before he walks too far for afield.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He says, the guards seem to have the situation in hand, but there may be others targeting this one.
So you're going to protect him?
I will escort him home, but your magic seems to be much more effective than my staff.
Well, if we want to talk to him, it does. Okay. Well, I want to make sure these guys actually make it to the jail. If you can just wait a couple minutes, I'll be happy to go with you to the Temple of St. Cuthbert.
And Rufus, he said, I'll go with you. I can vouch for the guardsmen, but if it will set your mind at ease, I will follow you if you will escort me when we get them taken care of.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, this is my first day in this town, and already what I've seen is the guards are corrupt.
Well, not, and this is Rufus. Not all of them. I've known many of these men my whole life. I've been here my whole life. I've never heard of guardsmen being. Well, I've never really heard of the last laugh, even hiring guardsmen. But strange times, I suppose. It continues to follow. So we're back to the Cauldron map. This altercation happened right, and I pinged this time. Right around this area. The guard tower, the guard house is up in northern Obsidian Avenue. So that's a good quarter mile. And then the Church of St. Cuthbert is on around eastern Ash. So you escort the guards to the guard house. They go inside. And it's kind of what you expect in like a modern day, like Jersey precinct. There is somebody at a desk. They ask the questions, what happened. The guardsmen say, well, these guards, our fellow guardsmen, were attacking Rufus, the St. Cuthbert priest. And he looks a little shocked and starts, taking down the names. They take them back and they lock them up.
Okay.
Welcome, Dano.
I'm
It's like
satisfied.
gang of Utes.
And Rufus looks at the three of you. If you wouldn't mind, please. And he sets out from the guard house, and continues on around to the Church of St. Cuthbert. As you approach, it's a 2-story building made of nothing but white marble, but it's got veins of vivid blue. Not quite a gemstone, but like a different color of marble. It kind of gives it a look of lightning. There are 2 knights statues standing outside both sides of the door, both looking up to the sky, holding a large mace. And over the heavy oaken door, there is a sign that's an old sign that states, "Within law lives hope." And, Rufus continues to walk on in. And as he's walking in, you see another one of the acolytes look over at Rufus and, runs over. "Are you all right? Are you all right?" Says, "Yes, I had some trouble in town, but these gentlemen helped me and escorted me. Would you please go get Jinya?" And the new acolyte, the young boy, runs off. Jinya is the head priestess while Sacrum is out of town. She will reward you, to be honest. I'm going to ask her to reward you for helping me. And you're standing there, and there's a giant fire, and you're starting to dry off. And just after a few minutes, a sort of an older lady, but she looks like she's aged more than she really. So she's got some gray streaks in her hair, but she doesn't look like she should have gray hair. That kind of thing, like prematurely aged. Looks like she's in her mid-30s. Typical cultural person for this area. Dark skin, dark hair, dark eyes, graying. Moderately pretty. But she walks in, and she's one of those kind of people that kind of absorbs the room. She walks in, and you feel her presence. You can't help but look at her or notice when they're there. And she walks in, and she goes over to Rufus and lays a hand on him, and he heals up completely. She prays to St. Cuthbert. "Rufus, tell me, please." And Rufus, tells the story again of walking home from getting some dinner and being accosted by the three rogues. And he tells her they were guardsmen. They had been hired by the Last Laugh. And she has an honest, genuine look of concern for Rufus and a disbelief, almost in like the downfall of man. Like, oh, these are terrible times when the guardsmen are the ones, blah, blah, blah. And she tells Rufus, "Please, just go on to bed. I'll take care of these men." And Rufus nods and it turns again and looks at Farazan specifically and said, "Thank you, sir. I cannot thank you enough." And he walks off. And Jinya turns. She nods curtly. She has a smile on her face, but it's a wary smile, like, you woke me up and this is bad news and I'm having to deal with this. But I am Jinya Urkias. I am in charge of the church while Sacrum is out on official church business in Sasserine. Thank you very much. Rufus has been a priest here in our church for many years, and he's never harmed a soul. Thank you. I can't believe this has happened. Could you tell me your names, please?
Farazan will kind of, I guess, not really bow, but kind of nod and say, "You are most welcome. My name is Farazan."
And she nods. "Thank you, Farazan."
I'm Khaldun, and you seem to be in some kind of danger. These people were trying to drive you away from the orphanage.
From what do you mean?
I mean, when we stopped them and we interrogated them, that's what they said. They had been hired to send a message that you need to stay away from the orphanage.
How strange. And you, sir? And she looks to you, Tarathiel.
Tarathiel's just... he's got a habit of standing with his arms crossed, which keeps his hands near his daggers without looking like they're near his daggers.
Casually, defensively angry. Aware.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
And he kind of waves a hand.
Most of them.
Tarathiel, admirous man.
Which hand did you wave with?
The four-fingered one. It's his primary hand. So
okay.
He's still used to doing everything with it.
When you wave, she does. You notice your finger, but she tries to cover it. But it's obvious that she sees that with kind of a sense of knowing, a look of knowing, like, oh. I don't know why they would have asked us, or I can't imagine why they would threaten us to not go to the orphanage. They're There were 4 children kidnapped. We were just there consoling the other children and talking to the headmistress. That makes no sense. I don't know why they would not want us to do these things. Thank you. Thank you again. I don't have much. We have more than anything here. We have potions available, and it's a meager pittance for what you've done. But if you would allow me to give you all at least something for your wounds, or if you're not hurt, please take a potion. And she offers you all 3 a potion of healing apiece, 2d4 plus 2.
Nice.
I'll take it. Thank you.
You are adventurers. Please don't take offense. You just have that air about you. Is that accurate? Is that fair to say?
I suppose so, yeah. I mean, looking for some way to make some money, gain some knowledge.
Would you be willing to find out why that they're trying to keep us away from the orphanage?
I would be happy to. I just met these 2 gentlemen, so I'm not exactly sure what their plans are.
Did you say they kidnapped orphans?
4 children, yes. Kidnappings aren't really unusual in Cauldron, but not so many all at once, and usually not children. Most of the people that have been kidnapped, for lack of a better word, are lower class, live closer to the lake. They all have been happening at night, but it's been months between. I mean, it's just a matter of a large city. Crime happens, but never 4 at once, and never children. The youngest I've ever heard of before this was 18, 19 years old. No, I don't know. But yes, it was 4 children.
You see, Tarathiel kind of tenses up at that. Sees his 4-fingered hand makes a bit of a fist. Right. I'll help you look.
Thank you. No, I will pay you. I'm not asking you for you to do this for free. And she looks up at Farazan.
All the way up.
Yeah, yeah. She's like 5'2", so you got like two feet on her. She's
Yeah.
Fetch me the Holy Book of St. Cuthbert so I can stand on it.
So you can stand on it. Yeah. The holy stepladder of St. Cuthbert.
bring 3 of them. This guy's huge. And she kind of looks at you questioningly, as if waiting.
So, depending on how perceptive she is, she would see that his gray-skinned hand is white-knuckled on his staff. And he said, dang it, sorry, I need to get some water. He will say that, yes, I will help.
Cheers. Excellent. Thank you very much.
So I look at Jinya. Is it possible that the last laugh is wanting you to stay away from the orphanage because they're perhaps involved in this and they don't want you to find it out?
That seems the most reasonable. Yes, it does seem reasonable to believe that. And I wouldn't go. I would never assume that they've. I'm sure they've kidnapped people in the past, but generally it's for ransom or blackmail. The Last Laugh is a large organization. They're very organized, and they sometimes admit when they do these kidnappings to get money from the higher class people or the rich or the business owners, but
not a lot of money in kidnapping orphans.
No, there's not, and I can't put together why they would care. So that's a good start. I don't know. We didn't question. Our purpose was just to comfort the children and help the headmistress and the employees do what they needed, because the children were just kidnapped 3 nights ago. This has just occurred.
Are the watchmen investigating?
They have. They went the day the morning after, the children were taken in the night, and the watchman did go ask their questions, investigated a little bit, but they came up empty. The watchmen are good people. It does shock me to find out that those three were hired and actually took the job by the last laugh. But I know that this Cindrus is saying, not the children. I know that this.
Someone think of the children.
I don't know. The guardsmen are good at their job. Like, they investigate. Their detectives they do excellent, but they found nothing. They found nothing to indicate who or when or how this even occurred.
Well, they're good at playing dress-ups and kicking old men too, so...
Yeah, they're usually not that overt, but it does happen.
Farazan kind of furrows his brow a moment, and he says, "The three that we captured tonight could have been involved in the investigation as well."
I don't know. I can't answer that. I'm not sure specifically who was. I just know that it was investigated. That would be something that would be very interesting to know.
He says that it would be best if someone beyond the City Watch were to do so. I think that the three of us can take care of that for you.
Well, thank you. And not just for me. I know I'm the one hiring you, but this is a big concern for all of us in Cauldron. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for helping. And she, please, don't leave yet. She goes back into the back, and she comes out a few minutes later, and she's got a large sack, and it's jingling, and she holds it out for one of you three to grab. I can pay you each 50 silver now, and upon success, or if you find something out that turns out that we can find the children, I'll pay you 1,000 silver apiece.
Tarathiel will take the bag.
Oh yeah, 50 silver.
So the bag,
1,000 silver.
1,000 silver apiece. So the bag has 150 silver in it.
Just happened to have this around, did she?
Well, I had to go count it out and gather it.
Just side question: is it 10 silver to gold?
Yes.
Okay. Just I didn't know if the exchange rate was different here.
No. So basically, it gave you 15 gold. But I like using silver. I don't know, something about Greyhawk, everything, and 5e, everything's kind of toned down as far as money. So everything is really silver. You know, everybody deals in silver. This is how many silver it costs. Like, you don't hear people use gold terms. Even if it's 10,000 silver, they don't say 1,000 gold. They say 10,000 silver. Yeah. And, you know, platinum are almost unheard of. You see a platinum piece, it's, you know, it's kind of a special deal. But yes, it is a factor of 10. 10 copper is a silver, 10 silver is a gold, 10 gold is a platinum.
Okay.
Awesome. Farazan says, I mean, I don't know what he would say at this point. He's never seen that much money in his life.
That's a lot of money. Oh, okay. I would have a question. So you say that kidnapping is not unusual. Typically, kidnapping is extortion. So when they get the ransom gets paid, the people get returned?
Usually. I mean, it's just standard crime. People get kidnapped, people get murdered, you know, people get robbed, people get beat up, people get mugged. So kidnapping is just one of those things that does occur, but not usually kids. And yes, the Last Laugh has been responsible for kidnappings in the past, and they've made quite a bit of money out of it.
Does anyone we can talk to give us a description of the kids?
Certainly. The headmistress of the Lantern Street Orphanage, Gretchen, she could answer a lot of questions for you. You may want to go in the morning. It is kind of late now.
What's the name of the orphanage?
I'm sorry?
What's
Lantern
the name of
Street.
the orphanage?
Lantern Street Orphanage. It is
Lantern
actually
Street.
on Lantern Street, which is where it gets its name. It's not really on one of the main perimeter roads, not like an Obsidian or anything like that. And it's kind of in northeast, north by northeast area, right about,
Okay.
just as an idea. And they lock everything up at late at night. The kids are locked. The boys are locked in one room. The girls locked in another to keep hanky-panky to a minimum. But when the sun goes down, the orphanage, it's locked down. And Gretchen takes care of those kids.
A lot of generalities being spouted here.
What's that?
Just me thinking that there's a lot of generalities. Oh, the guards are all good. Oh, they take care of all the kids. Well,
All but three.
When
It
they
seems.
don't.
How good is good?
all but 3 and 4 in every case.
She offers for you guys to stay there the night if you'd like. You're welcome to stay here, or I don't know where you're staying for the night, but we have plenty of beds in the church. You are set to task, whatever you think is best.
I've got a room at the inn, and I'm gonna go back. I've got a note on the board I want to check on.
Okay.
I'll come back too. They were holding my table.
But I might take you up on it, later, maybe tomorrow or the next night, because it's a little expensive staying here. So definitely take up your hospitality.
And I'm sure you ran out on your tab when you saved Rufus, so you may have to go back and tip Nalini appropriately.
Oh, you know Delaney.
Everybody knows Nalini.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody knows Delaney.
Not like that, you fiend. So what you playing?
Head out to the inn.
Yeah.
Out and in.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So you guys head out. It's across town. If you could swim across Crater Lake, which is an option,
No.
it would be a lot quicker. you cut through the hypotenuse, but you have to go skirt around the Crater Lake. You get back to the Drunken Morkoth, no problem at all. Get into the tavern proper. It's been hour and a half since all this started, since you were eating and you saved Rufus. Business as usual. There's a couple of regulars in here. It is nighttime. It's dinner time. Nalini is bouncing around like a butterfly, and that one glass is still being washed by the bartender. If you have
So
nothing
shiny.
else that you want to do for the night, we'll call it a night. Long rest done, and next morning.
Well, just before that happens, the only thing I want to do is just sit down with all three of us together.
Okay.
And just say hi.
Okay, no rush. I was just saying if you had nothing to do, you can do a long rest. So do what you got to do.
Okay.
And then get my 50 silver.
Try feels
I
like,
was going to ask how you
forgot.
wanted to handle that. Do you want me to just handle all the money? That's always a good idea, right?
Yeah, give
Not
the
saying
rogue
you
the money.
scream rogue, but you kind of scream rogue.
I mean, it's not like I yanked it out of his hand when she gave it to him. It's just like, we're getting ready to split for the night, just settle up.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
So you go back to the tavern if you're having a seat in the if you're having a seat down in the tavern. Nalini kind of flutters over absentmindedly. Yes.
Sorry.
Any chance you kept my dinner warm?
Show.
Joe.
Drinks.
Good lass.
Drinks.
Yes, please. And meat cooked.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. We need to completely role play this out. I just wanted to sit down and say hi, since I guess we're going to be working together.
She flutters off aimlessly. Okay.
Okay. Farazan will look at Khaldun and he says, I am not from around Cauldron.
I'll shoot. The city south of here.
You, you seem to be unique. Can you tell me where you are from?
I am from a very, very far away place. Called, just one second.
Is that with hyphens?
Tunareth. I'm from Tunareth. It's very far away from here.
What can you tell me about Tenareth?
It is the largest city I've ever seen, ever. It is an immense city. That's about it.
This is fair enough. How far did you travel?
I don't think you can measure it in miles. It's very far away. You have to travel there by magic.
Ah. It is something that I do not know about.
Sounds inconvenient.
Very convenient. And I'm glad I'm not there anymore. It's not a very nice place, honestly.
Mm. And you, sir, where are you from?
Here and there. Here, mostly.
Oh, you're from Cauldron?
From nearby.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody knows this place.
Everything ends up in the crater, though.
It is the way of the mountain that things fall down the side.
Yeah.
And Farazan says, I am also from far away, but I traveled by foot. I have spent the last several months training at a monastery at the foot of Cauldron Mountain. It is my first night here.
Well, glad we could give you an eventful one.
It was that. But you do know the city.
More or less.
It is good to have your knowledge.
Are you familiar with these rogues?
We've come across one another before.
Okay. Well, that's something to work with.
Yeah. My first encounter with them was less successful than this one.
Farazan will kind of consider that for a moment and say, if they see you, will it be a problem for us to be with you?
I think it'd be more of a problem for them.
As long as...
Especially with you there, mate.
It says, I can only hit one person at a time with my staff. He...
Very hard.
Yeah.
Looks like it'd only take one hit.
But if there are more, his magic seems to be effective at all at the same time.
It's a good trick once or twice a day. I try to hold that in reserve for when it's really important. I mostly wanted to stop him so we could talk to him.
All right.
It was a wise choice.
Yeah.
Nalini flutters back over, sets your drinks down, gives you your cooked meat, brings out your dish that was not warm, so you have a brand new plate. Here you go. As she bounces off.
Okay.
Well, we'll finish. I'll finish up eating. Check the board, see if anybody left a note in response to my note.
No, nobody's. Not quite yet.
Okay.
So I guess we'll get a wake-up call from Nalini.
Show.
Did we get any sort of indication
That's the alarm
of what
sound.
time
It's just
it is?
Show.
Just a tap. Just. Now, if you heard that.
Yep.
Did we get any sort of indication of what time the orphanage opens in the morning?
Dawn.
The dawn?
Dawn.
Okay.
And not like high noon dawn where you can see everything. I think, I don't know if I mentioned, did I explain how like all the buildings
Yeah.
are super tall?
Tall,
and so like,
tall buildings, lots of
Casting
shadows.
shadows.
yeah, okay.
Only really daylight at street level at noonish.
Yes, good.
So it's essentially a stadium.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's hard to tell from the overhead map like this, but the roads are all like 13-degree inclination. Like everything is very, very steep, going down to the center of the crater. But yeah, 8, let's call it 8 o'clock. After breakfast, the orphanage opens. And it's not like they have a lot of visitors and tourists and, people come and like gawk at the orphans. It's just that's when they get out and move about, and that's when everybody arrives that don't stay there overnight, like the groundskeepers and things like that.
I'm sending you a picture in the Discord.
Discord, do we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
The
crap!
picture of Goblin.
All right, I've got 3 monitors and I don't have Discord.
Okay, I'll send it to you in.
Roll 20? Is that an option?
Sure.
Okay.
Roll 20.
Dr. Foe wants a shirt that says "show."
Dr. Foe.
Yeah, somebody's watching the Twitch feed.
What?
Dr. Foe, like, yes. Hi, Dr. Foe.
So it's a link. I will click the link. Ah, no.
I guess I could
By the
put
way-
it in the stream.
Before anybody feels the need to point it out, halberd comes from Helmbard, the old German, which is handle hatchet. So without the hatchet bit, it would just be the
Handle.
bit, not just the bard bit.
So,
Thanks, Mike.
so what you're saying is Farazan's staff is named Hal.
Yes.
This is Hal.
Don't do that,
I can't do
Farazan.
that. I can't do that, Dave.
Yeah.
That Dave.
Oh God, I'm just gonna have to throw in an intelligent stick for you now and call it Hal.
Daisy.
Okay. Did you see the image that I sent?
I don't know where to look.
It's in Roll20,
Yeah, it's in roll 20.
and it's super hot.
Is it that link?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Continue. I'm afraid it's going to turn off my roll 20 though. Let's see. Can I open this in a separate? Yes, I can. Yes. It looks like a Coliseum. I have that picture. I just haven't brought it up yet. That is a good way. I can't really center it on Twitch, but you can really see how steep those roads are.
Yeah.
With that.
That's more like 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not smart like you guys, but you can see though.
Okay, I get it.
It's
a deep dish.
But as the further you go in, it does get shallower and shallower. So you get down to the bottom, and it's more of a flat. And yeah, then when you're really close up, it's kind of a really cool map. Wow, there you go. Have a burp.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yes, thank you for bringing that map. I will definitely be posting that up in place eventually, like here.
Dropped it in the Twitch chat.
In the Twitch. Excellent. Oh, cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kick
Kick
the Table.
the table.
Is it Mr. the Table or?
It's Dr. the Table, thank you.
Mr. the Kick. So, do you guys have anything else you want to do tonight?
No, think so. I'm gonna sharpen my stick.
Sharpen your stick. Your Hal.
It's going to be a pokey stick instead of a
Not a
bashy
euphemism.
stick.
Not a euphemism.
No.
All right. Bright and early the next day, as the sun rises, so does your level. You're now all level 2.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's cool.
You
Makes
can
me
take
happy.
a moment if you'd like to kind of
It's
look at your next
Christmas.
level. Level 2 is pretty huge for some of you and not so much the other day. It was used to be called Mr. at the table. That's Ren 76.
Oh, what?
It's on Twitch. We have people talking to us.
Oh, hello.
Since
NIS 76.
since we don't have 10,000 people flooding through the chat, I can actually read each and every
You can actually read
individual.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, what
Hey,
problems we don't have.
While we're looking at the level up, I had a thing to show you, Matt. So
All right.
this, I don't know if this is going to come up on camera.
Go down just a little bit.
Blurred background.
Looks
Back
like an
further.
owl.
Back,
Yeah.
back,
Coin
back.
with an owl on it.
Looks like
There
a
you go.
coin with a
Done.
big-eyed owl.
Yep. This is a drachma.
Ah,
Oh,
it exists.
So it turns out drachma is the currency used by Greece before the euro came in.
Okay.
And so after our first recording session where we discussed the drachma, I went and looked it up, and I
Yeah.
found a store on Etsy where you can buy a brand new drachma. This one is from 1973.
What is the value of a drachma in? Of course, we're dirty Americans to $1.
Infinitely less than what I paid for it. So I think I paid $10 Australian to get it, and that included shipping, which is probably worth like 50 cents American.
That's pretty bad exchange rate. That's pretty cool.
No, it's not quite that. It's not quite that bad. I think it's probably $6 or $7 US to get it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny. Heath Caldoon and I, Heath and I took a trip when we were much younger, and we went through Western Europe and just did a 20-day Euro pass, and we were in half a dozen or more different countries. And I'm a dumbass 19-year-old. I'm like, I don't know what money we have. I called everything drachma, and I thought I made it up. So apparently I'd heard it somewhere.
It turns out you may have actually been paying with drachma.
Could have been.
well, we didn't visit Greece.
No,
But,
I didn't get that far south.
No, we did have a large accumulation of coins because you go from one country to the other, you end up with the currency, and it's like.
And they never wanted to
Okay.
exchange coin. Only
Yeah,
if
they would-
they'd exchange
only
bills, but not
paper
coin.
money. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, thank
That
you.
is
That's
interesting.
amazing. That's awesome. A drachma. Now I'm going to look it up and have to buy my own owl coin for $7.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a prized possession now. It's worth the pittance I spent on it.
So we're not going to do a full-on what all happened with your next level, but I'm curious that everybody continue the same class.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Ooh.
I know Tarathiel. Y'all aren't keeping your classes secret, are you? From the multitude of audience that we have.
I'm not.
Quick, Twitch, guess.
We will pay you in drachmas if you will.
Yes. See if you can figure it out.
Oh, don't say that.
We'll send
It's
you
gonna be
we'll
expensive.
send you a no
exactly.
prize. for everyone you get
International
right.
shipping does apply. You will pay for
Yeah.
it. So
Crypto drachma.
Heath the Caldoon taking a level wizard.
Yes, and I am an abjurer.
Abjure. So you don't really gain much. You get a couple of spells, and that's about it. Third level's your big boost of power. Is that?
Well, I get my school specialization at second level, which is abjurer.
Oh, is it level 2? All right,
It's level 2.
that's cool. So I know Abjure has a couple of nifty abilities when you first take it. Why did you choose Abjure?
He's sort of a tanky wizard, and the nice thing about the abjurer is they have that arcane ward, which essentially almost doubles their hit points.
Okay.
Very nice.
Is that like per long rest kind of thing, or how does that work?
So whenever you cast an abjuration spell, it creates the ward after a long rest, and the ward is equal to twice your wizard level plus your intelligence bonus.
Oh, that's cool.
So for me, that's going to be 7 points.
Now,
okay.
is this temporary hit points, or is this like a shield?
No, it's not. It's not temporary hit points.
Okay.
It takes damage before temp does, before real hit points. So
Cool.
um,
So you have,
temporary,
you have
temporary.
deflector shields.
yeah, it's
Wizard
really
is not a
it's
combination
really a
of either.
ward.
That's very
So
cool.
if I take damage, say, and my ward absorbs it, I don't. There's no con check because I didn't actually take any damage. So it's not like temporary
Right.
points.
Very
That's
cool.
very cool.
And for every abjuration spell I cast, it adds double the spell level back to the ward.
Oh.
Afterwards,
Yes.
like you recharge it kind of thing.
Yes.
Dang. We
So if
just
I
need to-
cast Shield, which is a first level spell, it'll add 2 more points to the ward.
Neat.
So next combat, Farzan and I are just going to stand back and watch you go.
Yeah. I've always wanted a wizard class like tank. You know, I've always wanted to see some sort of game mechanic where because you have some of these amazing abilities or possibility of force, wall of force and other things, and Pathfinder has a couple of spells that are nifty. Cool, very cool. So you're a level 2 abjurer.
Yes.
And the Twitch stream looks like Khaldun is locked up a little bit. It looks like everybody has. Does it look all right to you guys? I minimized it and brought it back up.
It looks stopped to me.
Stuck.
Yeah. You're moving. You're moving.
Yeah.
So it is then a Skype thing, and I minimize that. And let's see what happens. There we go. Back to life. All right.
Hey.
So
right.
note to self, never do that shit again.
Don't
All right.
minimize Skype.
Yes. All right, Farazan, you took another level of
Fighter.
I forgot. I'm still got a monk in my head for you.
He's monkish.
Yeah.
He's monk adjacent.
Yeah, monkey.
He's monk adjacent. He's
Monkey.
And so yours is 3rd level stuff, right? So right now you basically get hit points and something else.
hit points, and he now has access to action surge. So once,
which is awesome.
Nasty.
Yes, it is.
it's like once a day, though, right?
It's once a long rest, yes.
Once a long rest. Okay,
Which is
so
essentially
one
the same
additional action.
Yeah, and that's a big deal, especially if you continue on as a fighter when you have 2 attacks, 3 attacks. That action surge gives you a full action to do whatever you want to with it. So you could take another 2 or 3 attacks. It is. I think you're in 76. They're saying the audiovisual is all good again. Yeah. So, like, say you have 2 attacks with an action surge, you have 4 attacks in 1 round. It's Hoss. It's a big deal. Kind of a big deal.
Well, I mean, he is a big deal.
Yeah, he's a overly large
deal.
deal. Tarathiel.
Yeah, Tarathiel took another level in Rogue, which gets me my cunning action. So now I can dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action.
That's so fun. I love that crap.
Very nice.
Rogues are cool like that.
So, Tasha's gives you an option to gain advantage if you don't move. Is that a 2nd level thing, or is that higher level? I don't know if I didn't know if it was an extension of that.
I haven't read it. When I read through Tasha's, I didn't have a rogue, so I didn't kind of pay as much attention.
So, like, you don't have to do it right now because it's probably not going to come up. But take a look at it, Mike. If you've got it at level 2, it's yours.
Okay,
All
cool.
right, we're going to use all the options from Tasha's.
It's a 3rd level.
Is it 3rd level?
It's 3rd level. It's steady aim. Yeah, it's 3rd level.
So
Yeah.
never mind.
Normally-
Do not look that up.
Normally the good stuff
No
happens
homework
at
for
3rd
you.
level. In D&D, that's how it works, right?
Yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah, you wake up smarter and nimblier and
Cooler.
actionier.
Nimbelia.
Action here.
Y'all wake up. It's morning. Go down, have some breakfast. Nalini's there. She flutters around, gets you some food, gets you some drink. Be sure. So, you guys did work yesterday because you met at the end of the day when all this went down. So your cost is negated for room and board today.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how we were talking about the jobs
Cool.
and stuff like that. So there is no cost that has been taken care of due to your day job. That's kick the table. So the day has begun. What are you guys gonna do?
Tell Nalini we're going to the orphanage. Ask her if she wants us to get her anything.
Shut up. A brother.
All right, we'll have a look.
We'll see what we can find.
No.
That's what I was thinking actually before, was like kidnapping orphans is kind of lazy. Like, you'd attract a lot less trouble if you just adopted them. Like,
Right? It's like,
which is
But
kind
all
of
that
awful.
paperwork, and it's probably like 50,000 silver per child if it's anything like today.
Yeah.
So
Be a lot less police trouble though.
True. You don't go to jail
I'm
for
gonna have to
adopting
do like a
children.
home study.
I may have told you
I feel
off
bad.
a little bit. This is actually Lantern Street Orphanage. I found it on my notes. So you guys are coming from over here and crossing over to the other side of town. There you go.
Yes.
Oh, fee, fi, fo, fum.
Hey, that's
I
my
can't
thing.
shrink my token.
So is that the plan? Is that what y'all are doing? Heading over to the orphanage.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Show.
So as we walk, Tarathy will be keeping one eye on the rooftops just to see if there's anyone following us or watching us or
Give me an active perception.
firing arrows at us or trying to murder us.
And in case anybody was questioning what the PP numbers are, those are the character's passive perceptions. That's more for
That
me
would
than
be-
anybody else, so I can just look at it. But
Holy cow, 23.
That's a natural 20 for a
He
23.
sees into the future.
23. You do not see anybody tailing you. You do
can see
have
through
to
time.
see a supernova 10 billion light years away, but nobody is tailing you at this moment.
My God, it's full of empty stars.
You see a rover dropping onto a red planet.
Yeah.
There's nothing but dead robots here. It's a planet of death. There's been so
Well,
many
do
good memes
something.
about that. I love that. I'm so sad. My brothers are dead.
That's so sad. Yeah.
The one that I really liked was the you have perseverance, and then you have the Jawas carrying it away.
Oh,
It does look
one
very
that-
Tatooine-y there.
it does,
bit,
very
yes.
much so.
And one more on this topic. Like we were talking about this yesterday in my home game. What Heath is running. The picture of the sky on Mars of all the I mean, everything that you can see is so amazing without an atmosphere.
It is.
The
it's
Milky Way and
beautiful.
all those galaxies. Just absolutely. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, you got to see these pictures. It was
We're going to
interesting.
go terraform it and ruin the view.
Yeah. Noir Dragon 1 just put up a link. I don't know what that is.
Right, click it randomly.
Let's put buttons on our
Oh yeah,
computers.
no, this is beautiful, but
Is
it
it
makes it dry.
safe?
Yes,
I'm stuck.
Okay.
it is safe. It's not emotionally safe though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
my dragon.
So, sorry about that. It was it was interesting. I was reading. They were talking about why don't they have video coming and blah blah blah. And they're talking about like how the intergalactic kilobyte rate is very very low. But
Yeah.
the reason they don't also is there's nothing moving. So what's the point of having a video of a still image, whereas a picture will do the same thing? So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was what made the recording of the landing so amazing, because there was something moving. So there was something to see, especially when it actually started to touch down, and you could see the thrusters like pushing it. It looked like fluid at the bottom of the water.
Yeah.
That was just really cool.
I guess the light gravity makes it fall a little differently than we would see. Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know. Look, it was just neat.
Weird and cool simultaneously.
There's also some images from Curiosity that they've stitched together to make these ultra high resolution pictures of just panoramics of Mars, and those are awesome.
I mean, they have gone to a lot of trouble to fake
To get to
a
Mars?
Mars landing.
Yes. That's right.
I mean, the moon
It's
landing
like-
was easy
it's
to
like,
fake because it's so much closer.
The moon landing. Yeah. I mean, Stanley Kubrick, he wanted it to be so realistic, he filmed it on the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's very method.
All right, you guys had breakfast, gather up together, heading to Lantern Street Orphanage. Nice day. It is sunny. Still kind of muddy from the night before. You come around the corner, and Lantern Street Orphanage is a 2-story building made of charcoal stones. It looks like it's probably been built from some of the local rock, which a lot of the buildings are. Like a lot of this is, lava rock and obsidian and things like that. The windows on both floors, a 2-story building, are all shuttered and closed, even though the things have opened up and you see people moving around. There are lanterns hanging on either side of the oaken door, and there's a green copper gargoyle head with a nose knocker, kind of like from Labyrinth, the one that's like, it's going through his ears. Sorry, can't hear you. That guy is sitting on the front door. But as you approach, you see off to the right, there's a groundskeeper, somebody that's just taking care of the little grass that there's affordable around the orphanage. He looks just like Willie from Simpsons. Like this is the groundskeeper Simpson Willie.
Am I going to lose points if I don't know who that is?
No, I looked it up, so you're fine.
Okay.
I just remember seeing it, 37 years ago when the first season came out. Anyway, he doesn't really pay you much mind. You go up to the door.
No wonder they're so easy to kidnap. Oh, that guy. Yeah. I've seen that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to try to fake an Irish accent, but my Irish accent sucks. I was just going to try to do nonsense like,
Scottish.
Yeah, that sucks.
yep. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. You're level 1.
That's about the time the Tarrasque showed up.
The undead Lich Tarrasque, half angel. All right, you guys are there. There is an iron gate around the area of the orphanage. It is open. Like I said, the groundskeeper's out milling about, but the front door's closed and the windows are shuttered.
Knock on the door.
What was the name of the Gretchen?
Gretchen is the headmistress.
Okay. All right. Kaldu knocked on the door, yes?
Yes.
You did? All right.
Okay.
You knock. Just not much time later, the door creaks open just a little bit, and you see a little old lady, like as little old lady that you can imagine. Little hunched over, long gray hair in a bun in the back of her head. Looks up at Khaldun, and she just shuts the door.
Dang it.
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't be the one to knock on the door.
And you hear kind of a yelling inside. Too muffled. You can be perception if you want, but
Uh-oh.
a little too muffled to
They're grabbing
hear.
the crossbows.
Yeah.
Getting the
We've come
orphan
about a
lineup
kidnapping. Might be
attack.
the wrong thing to say.
Yes.
Orphanage / boot camp. And a few minutes later, the door reopens. If you haven't banged the door down in the 30 seconds.
No.
And a older man, probably in the mid-50s, opens the door, and he's wearing a cook's apron. Obviously, the chef. Obviously, eats a lot of his own food. Kind of round, big black beard. He looks nice, but he looks like he's trying to not look nice. Like he's trying to be like, "Rrr." And he's average size fella.
Here.
Yeah, exactly. He opens the door and said, "Can I help you?" And you can kind of see past him, and you see this little old lady like hiding behind this cook.
She's clutching her rosary.
Got the vapors.
We're here about the orphans.
We already got one.
Gave it the
We're here about the kidnappings.
We hear about the ones you don't got.
Yeah. The Church of St. Cuthbert actually sent us over here to help. Maybe we can find out who took the children.
Real quick, this was a oops on my part. Jenya also gave you a piece of paper with
a writ?
a signal. It's a writ of purpose. And
Excellent.
She tells you that this will get you into many doors that would normally be barred to you.
Slammed in your face by
Yeah,
little old ladies?
yeah. My fault. I forgot that was part of the stuff that she gave you. But she called it a writ of purpose, and she did say, "Please, this you're going in the name of the church. Try not to abuse the power of this, but this will get you in many doors that you normally would be shunned from." So, anyway, all that still happened. But the cook is standing there, and the little old lady's behind her.
I lick it and stick it on my forehead.
Bap! Ace of spades. And he looks at your forehead and reads it and goes, "Oh." And he turns around. They're from the church. And you see her, she just kind of like pushes him aside. "Well, why didn't you say so?" And she opens the door on open. Probably because you didn't know that you had that ability, huh? And she ushers you in. She takes the writ, looks at it, and hands it right back to you. "I'm Gretchen. I'm the headmistress here. Please come in.
This is
How
our
tall is
psychic
the door?
tape.
So Khaldun walks in, this Gith Yankee with no nose, and then Farazan ducks through the door, and she's just. She looks through the door and just sees Tarathiel come in and just, what can I do for you?
Well, we'd like to help get your children back. If you
would be
give us any
wonderful.
information that could point us in the right direction, like circumstances, what they look like.
Well, I can give you the names. You're not the first to come. Are you working with the police? The police came several days ago. They didn't find much, but anyway, you're welcome. Please. And she starts kind of tottering off up the stairs to the second floor and looks behind and sees if you're following. Like,
Are we following?
yes. She's beckoning with her head, like kind of like Yoda. Good food. Come on.
I'm waiting for the little crystal dish with those really old strawberry candies in them.
For the orphans, it is time to eat as well.
Yes.
The ones with the syrup in the middle?
Yeah.
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
The kind that would lacerate your tongue every time because
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. Oh my God. All right. So she's tottering into, and it looks like she's going to her office. She pushes the door open, goes around the back of the desk, sits down, pulls out a drawer from her desk, and pulls out a ledger.
No candy.
Come in. No candy. Shut the door, please. And she pulls the book out, flips it around, pushes it towards you, and it looks like a ledger of all the orphans that have come and gone over the years. And on the ledger, you see the last 4 that have left. It doesn't say kidnapped. It just has here, that kind of thing, like children are no longer here kind of thing. And it's got the name of the 4 children on there, which are in my notes right here for me to read to you, at which point
This
you
looks
get to
disturbingly
this.
like inventory.
It kind of is.
Well,
it's very dry like that.
It's funny. Ironically, my daughter works for a children's home, and during the week that we had of lockdown recently, she was forced to work from home, and the only work that they could give her to do from home was to transcribe journals of nuns from the 20s. And it's like this person arrived, this person left, and that's literally the kinds of entries that get put in, and it's like double entry bookkeeping tracking children.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've worked, I still do occasionally work at a children's home here in town or in next town over. And it seems kind of callous, but I think that's more to protect the people taking care of the children than anything. Like, Anyway, so she pulls this ledger, and there are 4 names, the last 4 children to have left the orphanage. And the names are Deacon, Deakon, Evelyn, Lucinda, and Taram.
Why didn't you spell the last 3?
Would you like me
They're
to?
spelled how you'd expect.
Evelyn, because Deacon's weird. Lucinda, Lucinda, and Taram, Terrem.
I didn't spell any of them correctly.
You're level 1. That's my new threat. You're level 1 now. And if you look, you're kind of looking through the ledger, and you see those 4 names, and none of these 4 were even the most recent to come or go. Like, Deacon came 2 years ago. Evelyn's been here a year and a half. Blah blah blah. So there's no. Looking at this ledger, there's no rhyme or reason. It's like they all came together and then they all left together, or if they came like 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 4 kids to get here, nothing like that. It's just there's nothing in there. I'm not going to make you do an investigation roll for this. It's just nothing in there that really indicates any kind of pattern, I guess, for lack of a better word.
What are the ages of the children?
It doesn't say, but she looks. The ledger doesn't have the ages, but she said, "Well, they're all kids, like under the age of 10, not really between 6 and 10."
Okay.
Like she doesn't really know, because a lot of kids probably don't really know how old they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And there's no indication of origination, like were they dropped off in a basket, or were they, just
Uh,
left at the door with an apple?
It doesn't say in the ledger. Again, it is very dry about children in, children out names. And she kind of thinks, I'm sorry, honey, I don't remember really details. I don't know.
Ma'am,
Nothing specific.
is this 2 boys and 2 girls?
It is 3 boys. 2. Deacon, Evelyn. Yes, you're right. 2 and 2.
She's not a very
I'm
good
old.
headmistress for an orphanage.
I'm old. For some reason, I had Lucinda being a male. I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah. Of course, you shortened it to
And
Lucy.
we understand that the children are separated at night.
Yes, they just to minimize hanky panky. Some of these kids are in their teens, and I was a teenager, believe it or not, and she fluffs her hair once upon a time. But we shut the doors, lock them, and keep them separate in the night, so to keep them safe and to keep us from having additional orphans.
So we have 2 locked room mysteries in a locked house at night.
Yes. You are free to roam and investigate, and I will help in any way you wish. I'll be with you. I'll introduce you to the entire staff if you like, just to let them know. Are you working with the Lord Mayor as well? We had 2 investigators here yesterday.
No.
We are not.
Okay. We have... So the guards came the day after, and then the day after that, we had these 2... They resembled you, sir, and she points at Tarathiel. Half-elf. They look like they had some elven heritage, both of them. They came and asked a lot of the questions that you're asking.
Tarathiel's eyebrows kind of raise at that.
Arch up.
And taking inspiration from Dr. Foe on the Twitch stream, Farazan will say, these were all human children.
Yes. Every child we have is human, and that's we would take any child, but we only get humans. There are very few non-humans that come through Cauldron in general or this area. You 3 are very unique. I've never seen one of your kind, sir. And she says it like meekly, like try not to anger you, Farazan. I've never seen one of your kind, nor yours. And she looks at Khaldun. I didn't know when I saw your face. It looked like you'd been horribly disfigured, and I apologize for my reaction. But this is a human city. You just don't see many non-humans around here.
So the 2 half-elves that showed up yesterday, was kind of odd then.
Yes. Half-elves, I would say, are the most common non-human because they're half-human. But it's still very rare for a non-human to be anywhere in Cauldron. There are a few that are citizens of Cauldron. There is the blacksmith. There's the magic vendor, and one of the wizards of the academy is an elf as well. But on top of my head, those are the only non-humans I can think of.
So what was the circumstances of the children's disappearance?
Well, it happened 3 nights ago. It was during the night. We've talked to all the children, and none of them have said anything about seeing anything. One of them said that they saw somebody trying to suck their soul out through their ear, but we kind of thought maybe it was a nightmare. I'm not sure about that. I wouldn't let that one. I don't think that really happened. He's one for tall orders anyway.
This was one of the 4.
Why?
Yes.
That was one of the 4 that were kidnapped.
No. That's Billy. Billy just makes up stories. Please disregard Billy.
Okay.
But none of the
So
children.
why do you think they were kidnapped?
I don't know. There's
No.
never. We've
Why are you assuming that they were kidnapped?
Not the reason for their kidnapping. Why do you think they were kidnapped?
Why do you think they just didn't run away?
Well, there's no indication they could have. I mean, 4 children escaping from locked doors, shuttered locked windows, second story floor, all 4 of them without a single anybody hearing or seeing anything.
Well, if
And
they were
those-
kidnapped, it's equally odd that no one saw anything.
You're
Not
right.
even the other children.
They seem somewhat similar. They seem somewhat happy. I mean, I know they're orphans and it's not the best situation, but it's just been ruled a kidnapping more than anything. It's a good question. I hadn't thought about that, but
I mean, you don't have a ransom note, right?
no, nothing. We have nothing.
I mean, usually a ransom note is what tells you it's a kidnapping.
I don't know about things like that.
Okay. Well, all right.
May we see their rooms?
Yes, please. If there's anything else, we'll head that way. And she stands up, closes the book, puts it back in the drawer, opens the door, totters around. And so the second story of this building, and considering this city, it's a small building. Like 2 stories is pretty short because most of the buildings are 3, 4, 5, some of them even 7 stories high.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
Just a quick look around the office. Anything unusual before we leave?
No, it looks like the headmistress, like a nun's office in like a Catholic orphanage. There's a desk. It's very Spartan. No, there are no religious iconography, so it's not like a religious building. But it's just her old office with just paperwork and just business dealings.
Okay.
Is there a Ferrari in the driveway? Like did she buy something really expensive and new?
Yeah, and there's a dude with a
Recently.
mustache and like a Hawaii shirt hanging out in really tight jeans leaning against it, smiling.
Apollo.
Zeus Apollo, kill!
I was thinking that there were guys with suits and sunglasses and fedoras.
Right. Got to see the penguin.
Okay, so nothing unusual.
No, and so you go up the stairs, and the second floor is balconied over. You can look over the balcony into the main entrance area, and you go back to the back of the building, and you've got the 2 large bedrooms. So there's really only 3 rooms up here: bedroom for the girls, bedroom for the boys, and then the headmistress's office. Everything else is down on the ground floor. And she's walking over, and she pulls a key out from a key ring out from over her neck, and she jangles it. I've still got the key. This is the only key to these rooms. And she goes and unlocks the first door and opens it up. And I didn't really mention it, but there are children in this place. Like, they're playing hide and seek, and they're just running around. The door wasn't locked, but she's pulling it out to show you. Like, she locks and unlocks the door. Like, I have the key. And she puts it back around her neck. She opens the door, and it's what you would think. There's 24 single twin-size beds along the back wall, each one with their own trunk. There are a few kids in here, a few boys and girls, just running around playing, doing kid things. Some of them are pretty young, as young as 4 years old, and then you've got some that probably be aging out very soon. Looks like they're in their late teens, and she's kind of explaining, we get these kids from all around the area of Cauldron. When they turn 16, they are released to go start an apprenticeship, or they're adults at that point, and they go. So the oldest that we have is 15 years old. This is the boys' room. 2 of the children were taken from here, and she takes you over to the 2 beds of the children, and shows it to you. And the beds were still messy, and shows you the trunk, and you open the trunk, and it's it's bed clothes and a couple of sets of clothes, and maybe like a toy or a doll or something in both of the chests or trunks. Please, and she steps back. Please do whatever it is that you're here to do. If you need my assistance, I'm here.
I look around. Look for a child in the area. that happens to have something like a broken toy or something. I imagine their stuff probably isn't in the best repair.
Okay.
A doll with
Sure.
an eye it's popped off or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
I get
that.
you.
Okay. And so I'll go over to that child
Right.
and I'll look at him and I say, can I see your toy?
And it's a little girl, like Gerber baby, cute little 5-year-old. She grabs her doll and she looks over at Gretchen, like kind of like, is this okay? Asking for permission. And you see her. It's okay, honey. And she hands you the doll.
Okay. I say this looks like it's very well loved, but I think it could use a little help. And I kneel down next to her and I hold it and I wave my hand over it and I cast mending and I fix it.
Okay. And she's watching you, and she's kind of like entranced by the sound of the words of your magic, and I always think that when you cast a spell, there's like, the air looks when heat goes through, like just a little shimmer of magic happens, even if there's no other effect. And this happens, and the doll's eye pulls back up into the doll, and it restitches, and it even goes back and it cleans it, and it looks brand new. And she's looking at it, and she's just, kid on Christmas morning looking at this brand new toy, and she's got her hands up like, can I have it? Can I have it?
Yeah, and I hand it back to her.
And she grabs it. She starts
What's
playing
your
with
name?
it. She bites it off.
What's your name?
Cindy.
Sandy?
Cindy.
Cindy, did you know Evelyn or Lucinda?
Uh-huh.
You did?
Yes.
You have any idea why they ran away?
And she looks over at Gretchen again. She just kind of shrugs, like not really understanding.
Do you know why they're gone?
They left.
They left? They just decided to leave?
She looks over at Gretchen again. And you get it. It's not like she's scared. She's not like afraid to answer because of Gretchen. She's looking almost like Gretchen's her mom. She's looking for security. She doesn't know really how to answer. She doesn't know. She's a little intimidated. She doesn't really understand the concepts that you're asking. So she's just like, they're gone. It's a 4-year-old, little girl.
Okay. Pick a better target.
Yeah. So yeah, is there an older child in
teenager?
Here?
Not in this room. Not here currently. I am Groot. Hey, watch your language. So Gretchen, she kind of picks up on what you're asking. She's like, okay, there's an older boy he's 15. He's around here somewhere. We can go talk to him if you like.
Okay, sure. All right.
Before we leave, are the windows at a height where a 10-year-old could climb out of them if they were open?
Yeah, if they tried, it would be. But they are all closed and latched right now, and they aren't like simple latch. They are locked with a key.
Okay.
And they are closed currently.
Can Tarathiel just... I want to keep an eye on Gretchen. I don't actually want to steal the key. I want to get a feel for how difficult it would be to steal the key from her.
Okay.
Sleight of mind.
Yeah, it's kind of I want to play out the scenario in my head of if I were to attempt to steal this key, how difficult would it be for someone to lift it?
So
sleight of perception.
It is around her neck and under her shirt. So you think it would be fairly tough for it to go unnoticed while she was awake. Probably it would take a lot of skill.
Yeah. So then I want to ask her, you said this is the only key. There's not a spare in case of this mishap, this one going missing maybe?
No, just the one key. And she pulls the key off of her neck and hands it to you. Just, this is it. Well, it's a key ring, so there's 3 keys on there.
A bunch of keys on there, yeah.
Just 3. There are 3 keys on here. And she holds up one. This is my office. She holds up the other one. This is the boys' room. She holds up the third one. This is the girls' room. That's it. They're brand new. We just received these about a month ago.
Oh.
Where from?
Gelvin. Excuse me, that's Matt. Gelvin. he's the local locksmith. He has been a supporter of the orphanage for years, and every so often the locks wear out, and he brings new ones. So he brought all these in just about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks. It's been not too long ago. May I? And she seems very anxious about not having the keys.
Yeah. And where do you keep the key when you're asleep?
I don't. I leave it on my neck.
It's a wise precaution.
I thought so. So give me a
Shall we?
Give me a perception check.
Perception.
You specifically to Raphael.
17.
17. And I'm going to give you advantage because of your, we'll call it profession.
Well then 5. So 17.
Excellent.
You're standing there, and you're in this room, and she was standing by the door, and you look down at the door, and the lock mechanism of the door, it's brand new, it's pristine. It's a good lock. Like, if you were to put mechanics to it, it would be a DC 25 to unlock this thing with a lock pick. So it's a good lock. And you get in there, and you're looking at it. This lock has never been picked. It has only been used with a key.
Right. Okay.
And
I'll
she's
keep
standing
that
there.
to myself for the moment.
She's like, are you through with my key? My key? Can I have my key back?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, thank you. She puts it around her neck, and she's,
Key anxiety.
yeah. Good. Well, she just had 4 kidnapped, and now, yeah. What can I do for you? You want to go talk to the boy?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. And she totters off and goes downstairs. She walks around and she goes into the kitchen. And you see the same man that came and answered the door for her earlier. Shoot.
Willie?
No, that's the groundskeeper.
Angry Sophie?
Tamar. Tamar. Yeah, Angry Sophie. Thank you. Tamar, these gentlemen are here investigating the 4 missing children. Have you seen Eric? And he nods. Oh yeah, and he's jolly. Yeah, he's no longer angry, but he's very Sophie.
No more grr.
No more grr. And it's very obvious he was bad at being aggressive. You know, he's just this, and he's smiling from ear to ear. Like, there's other kids in here, and he's like, he'll throw him a piece of bread. I'm like, he loves it. He loves being around these kids, and it's obvious. I think I saw him out back. He might be talking to Jeremiah, and Gretchen goes, that's the groundskeeper. He may be, considering he'll be aging out soon, he may be just talking to him about potential jobs. I don't know. But I saw him out back. He might be outside. And Gretchen nods and thank you, and totters off and goes to the front door, goes around the back, and you see Jeremiah, who, again, looks just like groundskeeper Willie from Simpsons. And there's a young boy beside him, 15 years old, and he's helping him. He's helping him trim a hedge, or, you know, he's just doing some groundwork. And they see you coming up, and Gretchen, you know, kind of waves at him. Jeremiah, these gentlemen are investigating the missing children. Eric, come here for a second, please. And he sits down in the hoe, and he's like, yes, ma'am. And he comes over and said, he doesn't say anything. He just kind of looks at you, kind of looks at Farazan. And it seems very focused. Like, you're talking to him, and he's answering, but he's like looking at Farazan. So these gentlemen would like to talk to you. And he's okay.
If he
Your
looks
name's Eric?
uncomfortable, oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if he looks uncomfortable, then Farazan will either sit or kneel.
It's more of a like, how cool is that? Like, he's in awe. Like, holy crap, you're huge. That kind of thing. He's just like, man, how much do you squat? Do you shrug a house? That kind of thing.
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, I squat all.
So, okay. Go ahead.
So you're Eric?
Yeah.
Okay. My name's Khaldun.
What happened to your nose?
I get a little closer. I bend over. So Caldoon's like 6'7", so he's
Oh
not
wow.
short.
Okay.
So
So he's
he bends over, and it's like it's like it's there. It's just
he looks at
kind of
Tarathiel. What happened to
small.
you? You're short.
um, did you know Deacon or Taram?
Sure.
You did. Did you think that they ran away, or you have any idea why they would left? Why they would have left?
No, not really. I doubt they ran away. I mean, uh, Deacon, shoot, he'll be aging out in about 6 months. I mean, he's almost 16. There's no reason. He was no. Taram, he was a little quieter, but he had. He never said anything to me. He never seemed really unhappy.
Hmm.
No, I can't. I don't know.
And you all sleep in the same common room,
We had the same bedroom. Yeah.
and you just woke up the next morning and they were gone.
Yeah.
No one heard anything.
I didn't hear anything.
Does this happen often?
Once a month.
What, people leaving?
Does
Yeah.
this happen often?
Like in the middle of the night?
Oh no, not like that. I mean, people get adopted, sure, but disappearing. He looks at Gretchen. I mean, I've been here 2-3 years, right? No, I don't think it's ever happened before.
Okay. All right. So, how many other boys were in the room that night sleeping?
Well, there's 2 less now, so there were 11 of us.
Okay.
It's a pretty full house.
So a room full of boys and to just walk out, no one hears it. That's kind of amazing.
Is it good?
Is what good?
He said it's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah. That no one could have heard them.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't. He pulls his hands up and stands back. I didn't see or hear anything. I promise.
Well, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying that that's a lot of people that didn't see anything. So,
Yeah, you're right. That does seem like a lot.
Can I roll an insight?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hold on. I have to remember how to roll an insight.
Roll d20, add insight.
With grace and style.
That's an 8. Honestly, so a little 5e, like 5e DCs are not like Pathfinder. Like an 8 is
Yeah.
a decent roll. 7's a good roll. That's my running joke in our home game. 7's not a bad roll. He seems genuinely honest. He doesn't seem really concerned. Like he doesn't probably doesn't grasp the concept or the gravity of what's happened. But you don't feel like he's lying. He's, if anything, he's trying to look at it for his own butt. Like he doesn't want to get in trouble. Like
okay.
I didn't do it. But I swear I didn't wake up. I didn't hear anything. But no, you don't feel like he's lying to you or holding anything back.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
You're not-
Is there, do you know any other of the boys that might have some information?
I mean, no more than those other 2 guys asked about. Like they asked every kid here. Excuse me. And nobody heard her. Nobody heard or saw
Okay.
anything that night. Sorry,
All
man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Relax, kid. You're not in trouble.
He barely visibly kind of relaxes a little bit. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I hope you find them. I mean, they were nice guys. It was Taram was cool. I liked hanging out with him. But I don't know.
Okay.
It seems we are getting nowhere.
And Tarathiel will catch Khaldun and Farazan and just kind of nod like, let's go.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help.
And Gretchen, she nods. I hope I helped. What do you think?
I think whoever did this was extremely skilled.
Oh. Okay. Well, would you
I think
let me know if you find something out?
ma'am, you might want to consider getting your locks changed again, maybe from a different supplier, just in case.
I mean, he's the only. Oh, okay. He's the only locksmith in town. He's been doing. Okay, but I will take your advice.
That is wildly unfortunate.
Corner the market.
Do you think we should visit this locksmith?
Yes, I think it would be a good idea.
Gretchen, can you tell us where the locksmith
Sure can.
his shop is?
I sure can. It is southeast. Give Matt a second to find it on the map.
No one picked them locks, and they didn't use her key. So there's another key.
That would be a definite possibility.
Yeah, it's Gelb's Locks. It's in the southeastern region on that road, Ash Avenue.
Oh,
No, Lava Avenue. Excuse me.
okay.
So it
Same road
is-
then.
Where
it
the
is
floor is literally
right
lava.
there. The floor is lava. So yeah, it's kind of on the other side of town where you are now. You three are going to head up, go to Gelb's Locks.
Yeah, Tarathiel's already there.
Sure.
Yeah, he teleported. Thought you were an abjurer. Wait, no, Tarathiel. That's that bonus action move. You're quick now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
the bonus
dash like a crazy person.
So you go up. Gonna call it 10ish now.
Sprints out.
Actually, gonna call it noon. You know, going around investigating, talking to everybody, and it wasn't. You talked to all the children. Like Gretchen gave you full carte blanche of the entire building. There are other employees there. You talked to the nurse, the school teacher. I mean, you didn't specifically seem to be interested in talking to anybody else. That's why I didn't bring it up. But there were other employees there. But you got that the idea of Gelb's. Head around to Gelb's. It's noon. You go up, and Gelb's Locks, you walk up to it, and it's typical of all the buildings. It's some sort of dark stone, obsidian, granite. But outside, there's like these almost like statues of locks. Kind of strange. Different sizes. They're not real. They're not real locks, but like maybe a wood carving a lock or a stone sculpture of a lock. Different sizes, different types, all different things. Go up to the door, and on the front door is literally a sign that says "Gone to lunch." Be back in an hour. There's no time clock on there, but it is closed currently. What you do?
Check to make sure we weren't followed.
Give me a perception.
Perception. Can do that one. 12.
12. It doesn't appear to be followed. You don't appear to be followed. So you rolled a 12. Your passive is 13, so that gives you a 13.
Excellent.
But no, you don't. You don't see that you're being followed.
Okay.
You don't see the person following you.
Right. If there is someone following me, I wouldn't know that I was.
Right.
All right. Farazan looks at the other two and says, "What shall we do now?"
Get some lunch.
Take 5, break for lunch.
Either that or you can try to pick some DC 25 locks to get in and look around.
Yeah, breaking into a locksmith doesn't sound
Yes. No, it doesn't.
easy.
It doesn't
if
at all.
if the orphanage has DC 25 locks, then who knows what this guy has
Yeah.
on
Does
his.
the locksmith have you? He left the window open.
DCGM.
Yeah, DCGM.
So hang out. Gonna go get something to eat. Come back. What's the plan?
Is there somewhere
Street
like
vendor.
on this street where we could hang out unobtrusively?
I
Or we stick out like a
yeah.
hand of sore thumbs.
You,
So
Tarathiel, you just like you close your eyes and nobody can see you. These other two, well, and Khaldun, you'll hold it. Farazan turned to punch bowl. He is not hiding.
Yep.
And I don't want it to make it sound like these roads are vacant. Like, there are people. This is a busy city. There are kiosks. Yep. There are like hot dog salesmen. Like, there's food. This is a bustling city. Everywhere you go, there's people. You see regular guards. You're close enough as you bypassed Crater Lake. You did see what you had heard about earlier. The priests were down at the water, purifying the water because, every time the rain, you see just streams of poop and pee pouring into the Crater Lake, and they're cleaning it. You see them casting spells. Like an army of priests of all different religions are down there cleaning this lake. And beside, at Gelb's Locks, there's buildings beside to the left. Actually, if you look over to the left, right beside, maybe about a block down, that blue building, this is the Academy. Did I ping it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Academy. This is one of the tallest buildings in Cauldron. It is a 7-story building. It's known as Blue Water Academy. So to say that you want to hang out and like not be suspicious would literally just be say, I stand there for an hour, because there is just tons of people.
Okay.
And like hiding in plain sight.
If there's street vendors and stuff, we could potentially grab some food and appear to be just hanging around, eating it and having a conversation.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, again,
I want a
Farazan,
3-pound turkey leg.
Yeah. And
I'm afraid you heard me say, "Bring me a lot of chicken." What I said was, "Bring me all the chickens you have."
And some dry white toast.
Yeah.
Yes.
And funnel cake.
How much for the women?
So there were these amazing sausage like hot dogs we had in. I forgot. Were we in Germany?
It was
Anyway,
Austria. It was Austria.
With the hard bread
somewhere
and the long with the spicy mustard. So one of those
Ooh,
wagons rolls by, and again, the cost of this food is built into the whole day job stuff. So it's negligible cost, but it's absolutely freaking delicious. This guy gets his food from Sassarine, straight trawled in from Sassarine's a port city. Daily from Sassarine, delivered early in the morning. These are fresh. So he's got this great, wonderful food. You guys are hanging out. He has some ale. Have these sausages. Spend about an hour, and in the crowd of people walking around, you see a man walk up. I'm assuming you're not standing right in front of Gelb's door eating a hot dog, right? So you're off to the side. You see this man walk up, human, average, probably early 40s, brownish hair, typical for Greyhawk, proper like general cultural people, darker skin, but he looks like he's not necessarily from this area. He's probably further northeast towards maybe like Greyhawk City itself. Not quite as dark as like in this area, the jungle region. So he's not as dark skin, dark hair, but he does sort of blend in. He's got lighter skin, but he walks up, pulls out this ring of infinite number of keys, pulls the key out immediately without even looking, pops it in the door, flips the sign over to open, walks in, shuts the door behind him, and we will pick up next time.
Awesome.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.
You have to get to chase down the keymaster.
I am the gatekeeper.
And thank you to whoever is still watching in the live stream.
Yes, thank you very much.
7 of you. 6 of you.
Yeah, someone left.
Oh, well, it is over. It's fine. Bye, guys.
See ya.
All right.